We are going to use Google Docs today. Ignore my really kind of crazy screen, but and you'll notice Google Docs is here, but let's just go in through Drive. If we were to click here and go into Drive, you notice this is the old view of Drive, and I just want to tell you up front, Google is slowly but surely changing their format. So in time, you may see this. Do not be terrified. It's just where Google is changing the format. And what used to be shared with me is now incoming. It's not a significant deal. It's where Google is trying to separate out its docs, spreadsheets, forms, just kind of like the Microsoft Office platform. I'm going to go ahead and just stay where we are, and we're going to work with a new document. So we go into here, and you notice when I click New, and I have the option within Drive to create a new folder, upload a file, and that would be if I want to upload something that I had created on my computer, upload a folder, but in this particular case, we're just going to work with Docs today. So I click on New Google Docs, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a title, because it may not prompt me to do that. And this is called Amy's Sample. Strictly for purposes of today's lesson. With the way you're looking at it here, there's nothing significant. It's just a word processing document. And it works in many ways like any Microsoft Office document. There are a couple features that you do not have the option with this, but I want to show you some significant things that as a teacher you might be able to use. For instance, if we are going to start typing okay. Notice a couple features. Obviously, we have not shared this document with anybody. We can rename this document. We can make a copy. Making a copy of this document means, for instance, if I were to have this document as things stand right here, and I wanted to make it would make an exact copy of the document. Why would I do that? Well, there are times when I need to. There are times when I need a Google Doc to be in two different folders. And unfortunately, Google doesn't work that way. So if you wanted a copy of the document in folder 1, you take the document and put it in folder 1, but you can make a copy of it and put it in folder 2. Also, it's all about these permissions who we share with. Right now, this document is private. If I shared this with somebody and I made it a view-only document, they could make a copy of the document and have a copy just for themselves that I would have no sharing rights to. Obviously, editing works much like it does in Microsoft Office. Here's some pretty cool things that I really like about Google. Same kind of things that you would see anywhere, but I really love images in Google Doc because of my choices. So I can go in and I can upload a file. I can take my own snapshot. I really don't think I need a snapshot of myself, but if I wanted to, I could. My webcam gets turned on and there I am. And as you can imagine, I'm not going to do that. Here is by URL. So if I had a URL for a picture I wanted, I could look at albums. I might want a picture of my girls on here. I could take pictures out of Google Drive. I don't want to. Or I could just search. This is not Google Images, nor is this Life or Stock Images. These are things that Google have kind of embedded in documents, but not a bad thing to look through. For instance, in Life, anything that you might have found in Time Life magazines back in the day. Let's say Cuban Missile Crisis. Search. And there's my image. So I might want to select that and put it in my document. So just a couple features that you might not have. Just to give you some extra resources when you are doing a document and when you are doing an image. Formatting, that's just, all about your paragraph, your styling. Tools is a big one because In Tools, this is where you do your spell check. Research, notice what happened over here to the right hand side. I was able to open a Google window. So let's put in, once again, Cuban Missile Crisis. I can preview this. Yeah, I think I might like this. And if you'll notice, let me go back, close out my preview. I also can go in and it'll let me click and go to that site, or I could go down here and take a look at something, and I can insert a link if I wanted to. I could cite this if I wanted to. You notice that when I did that, a little one come up. If I were to scroll to the bottom of the page, get rid of that. It gives me a little citation down here. Tons of options with this research tool. I might want to see just images about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I might want to go down here and see if there were any quotes about the Cuban Missile Crisis. No quotes. Scholarly articles. Obviously, there's some stuff here. So, tons of options within the Google Doc. Also, we have this option to translate a document. When you translate a document, it's going to give you a language choice. Keep in mind, anytime you translate a document, it's not going to be perfect, but it sure beats having nothing. I think the most important thing about the translation piece is our ability to have something to give to parents if there's no one to do any translations for us. When you do translate, it will create a whole new copy of the translated document. It will not replace what you already have. So you keep your original and you have a translated copy. Within Tools, you also have, don't worry about script editor, it's way beyond all of us. And do a personal dictionary. So maybe I want to add some words, and maybe my word is missile. And we add that. Because then, later on, I can go and I can add definitions to that. Now, this is new feature to Google Docs. It's called add-ons. And in order to get your add-ons and see what kind of things you can do, there are some pretty cool things in here. EasyBib is a great citation maker. You obviously see there's a thesaurus, table content creator, calculator, translator again. Throw in some more clip art, highlighting tools. I don't know why you would need that since you have highlighting tools within your document. Just a number of add-ons. And the way that works, you'll notice if you go back to what I had, when I did add-ons, I've already added some on. So let me just go here and show you. So I did my EasyBib creator. If I manage my bibliography, it comes up over here to the side, and then I can work with the add-on right within my document. EasyBib is a really good one, especially for anyone who is teaching children. And if I were going to use, I could take this website. Let me show you this. Go here, go to my website, drop in my link. Yep, this is the one I wanted. It's going to show me my citation. It's an MLA format. Yeah, I think that is the one I'm going to have. And it's going to add to my... So that's one of the features in Google that's new, and it's a great efficiency tool. That's Google Docs. The most important part about Google Docs, though, is it's more than just a thing that we can type on. It's now a collaboration, and I'm going to show that to you. So I'm going to share this document, and currently I'm going to share it with my daughter, and the reason I'm sharing it with her is because her Chromebook is in the next room that I'm going to go grab, so we can take a look and see what happens. So give me 1 second while I grab the Chromebook. Okay, I'm back. Now I'm going to open her Chromebook, and you can't see that, but you're going to be able to see what she's doing on her end. When she opens up this Google Doc. She now has in her shared with me folder my sample. And you're going to notice it just opened up. She is now in this document with me. And the most important thing is when two people share a document, Don't try to type at the same places. Your cursor is, look at this cursor here. That tells you Sophie Dawson is there. Down here is Amy Dawson. So if Sophie's over here typing, and let's just start typing. Hi, Mom. You see what's happening. She's typing there. I'm down here. So that is where Google has done this tremendous thing to allow us the ability to communicate and collaborate together. Communication piece comes here. It's this little chat window. So now Sophie and I have this ability to chat with each other. And she gets it over here on her end. The only problem that we find is that, obviously, students kind of abuse this, and I understand that. I know that they abuse this. We're all kind of in the same boat where classroom management becomes a big deal. Honestly, I guess one way to look at it is, as long as you are doing your work. Now, if you were doing a test, you obviously don't want these kids talking. But in a case like this, where you have two kids who are working together on a project, they're in two different locations, and they have this ability to share, or they have the ability to share with you, and they can chat back and forth to discuss this project, that's just a tremendous feat. Anybody who is teaching anything with foreign language, just remember there are Google input tools. You can change the language. So if you are here, you have the ability to go in and decide which language. I got to go in and check out all my options. Oh, I got to go here. And there is another way. Oh, you have to go into settings and change their input tools. But first, if you're teaching Spanish or you're teaching any kind of foreign, a Romance language like Latin languages such as Spanish and French and Portuguese, you can go in and find those input tools, the accent marks and what have you, within Google Docs. So that is just a short overview of Google Docs. Remember, it is all about these permissions. Who do we want to see the document? Right now, Sophie Dawson has this right to edit. I can go in and change, make her the owner. I can make her where she can only comment, where she can view. I can also change who this is available to. Right now, it's available to a specific person. It can be public on the web, anyone with a link, just Alexander County school people in Alexander County schools with the link. But if you're working with just one person, obviously you just type in who you're looking for. Remember, if you're going to send a document to someone for them to view, you have to make sure they have rights to view it. You can make it to where they don't change any of your work, but you need to make sure they can view it. One more thing that I thought is the most helpful, if you happen to be one of those people who you've done this document, somebody's made some changes, you're kind of worried about it, just remember this. You have this thing called revision history. Fantastic tool. Look what's happened over here. Shows you, here's the last edit. Here's the edits that Sophie and I have both made. You see here's her highlights. And here is my original. And I have the ability to go in and just restore it right back to where it was. So now, this is the original. Google Docs in a nutshell. I hope this has been helpful. And have a great night.